Alright, hello my lovely chickadees. Say or mommy back with another Sunday video. If we're being completely honest, I didn't know today was Sunday, so I was like, I'm just gonna breeze through the day, go to sleep, and then never wake up. And then I was like, wait a minute. If yesterday was Saturday, today is Sunday, which means I have to post a video. Now, I'm not good at keeping track of time, so it's not like this is a surprise or anything. But today, I just wanted to do to go back to something that pretty much started the channel. So, remember that comic I mentioned at the very beginning, the very start, Grain of Sand. So I've revamped the whole thing, the story, the characters, and everything. And today we're going to be going over the new characters and the new storyline and all of that jazz. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and get on to our characters. So, because this is a story, I'm going to go over the story itself and then the characters, which might be a little difficult, but let's get into it. So, the story takes place in Aztec, land of dragons. Aztec is divided into 5 different kingdoms: Bosmelia, Surtex, Marjoram, Lupis, and Zotan. Each kingdom is ruled over by a leader. However, it's not blood relations in which decides the ruler. The ruler is chosen from the knights of each kingdom. The knight that proves themselves worthy of the title of ruler shall become exactly that. So it's not going to be like a warrior cats thing where like an entire clan is run by a singular family. Don't worry about that. I got that all covered. All right. So now we're moving on to the talk about the powers in the world. Children born in Aztec have a special gift known as Ira's Wish. Ira is the earth dragon, said to have been the strongest dragon known to mankind. Each child's wish depends on the path and oath their hearts take. Strong-willed and kind-hearted. I'm not gonna read this part because we go over this a little later. And we'll talk about the different kind of wishes in the next video, hopefully. So, let's see. Alright, here we go. The reason they are called dragon style isn't just because their power. Oh, by the way, so dragon style is what the powers are called. So there's the wish, and in the wish there is the subcategory of style, dragon style, which is basically like their fighting style. It less pertains to the way they fight and more to how their magic works. But anyways, it's also because when the power reaches its full potential, the holder embodies the spirit of the dragon. They become engulfed in the dragon spirit and fully become one with their dragon fighting style. I read that wrong. It's okay. Let's see. Now to gain your wish. Once someone reaches 7 years old, they take their wish assessment, which is run by the Wish Assessment Association for Youth. WAAY. And that's where I'm going to stop here because I do want to talk just a little bit about the characters. Alright, so the first character we have here is the main character, the one and only Kole Tainari. And I would just like to put this out there. I'm going to change their last name, but for now, I'm going to, the first name is going to stay Kole because we're not pronouncing it as Kali, so there isn't going to be any confusion. Their last name I might change, because I don't want to risk MiHoYo being on my butthole about it, and because, to, limit confusion. So, here we have the main character, Kole. Kole is a rambunctious, very spunky character who really is just out here trying to understand why he's so hated by everyone. He's a good kid, he's always done what he's told, and he's never hurt anybody, so why would people dislike him? Well, Kole is born with one of the most rare genetic deformities, and that's having 2 wishes. Basically, when someone has two wishes, they're considered taboo and are actively hunted down because of it. Although no one actually knows why this is so. Colette really just wants to go and find any answer he can to really understand why people with two wishes are so hated. Which is why people he's close to and his friends call him Detective Kalnari, Truth Seeker of Bosmelia. Also, Bosmelia is where he's from, out of the 5 kingdoms that I mentioned, kingdom cities, whichever you'd prefer. So, there is our main character, 2 wishes, gifts, whichever you want to call them. Now, we're moving on to a character whose role in the story I haven't fully decided. All I know is that he plays a Knight of Zotem. So, Knights, which we already mentioned before, are basically subject to becoming ruler if they prove themselves loyal, and that's all Xavier wants to do. But it's a little difficult because he's not exactly the most talkative type. Matter of fact, he's not very good with words in general. He's always been kept to himself, and it's very difficult for him to understand things. He's slow learning, but once he fully understands something, he's about the smartest bulb in the box, and he burns brighter than everyone else, which makes him a contender for becoming ruler. The only issue is his anxiety. And it's not that he gets scared or anything of that sort. He just sometimes doesn't know what the right words are for the right conversation in the right situation. He is one of the youngest knights of Zotem, only being about 17 years old. He carries around a gigantic claymore that's almost as tall as he is, and he's very tall. I also forgot to mention this, but each character has a symbol on them, which represents where they're from. So, commoners, knights, adventurers / outriders, rulers, all of them have a symbol from where they're from. It's not just a particular group. So, there is Xavier. He ends up joining our main character somehow through meeting him after Colette stumbles into Zotem. Now we have a little bit of a teaser, because this character doesn't have a full ref yet, but I still absolutely love him. So, he is the current ruler of where was it? He is the current ruler of Surtex, and by far the youngest ruler Aztec has ever seen. Which is why people dislike him, and most people are skeptical about how he became ruler, considering the fact his father was ruler not too long before he became ruler. Even though that's not how the rule works, there is no guarantee that it won't play out that way. People dislike him solely for that, and his fighting style doesn't help. He's a sweet, kind, generous soul, but sometimes not even he understands why he became ruler. Matter of fact, he never does. He doesn't know how it happened or why it happened either. He doesn't know much about the past or his parents' past. All he knows is that he's going to do his very best to serve Surtex as the youngest ruler known to Aztecian history. But that's about all for these characters. More are coming on the way. This is definitely an improv video, but I think it turned out very well. Yeah, I'll be here next Sunday for another video. I'll hopefully be able to plan something, but if not, we'll just see what comes out of that. But that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Toodles!